I was chatting with one of my friends the other day and he told me that he was saving money to go on a trip to Japan in the spring of next year. So that gave me the idea for this video because I actually know a few people who are either going to Japan or just recently visited Japan, and in my opinion, this is the type of trip that is worthy of spending a boatload of credit card points on. So yes, I am going to show you how to get $17,000 in value for just over $600, and stay tuned to find out just why I'm unable to show you how to get this trip for under $53. I promise that there is a lesson to learn there. First of all, I am going to be using two different point ecosystems to make this trip possible, and that's with the Chase Ultimate Reward Points and American Express Membership Reward Points. In order to do this, you'll need to hold a Sapphire branded card from Chase, like the Sapphire Preferred or Sapphire Reserve, or even the Chase Inc. Business Preferred. And with American Express, I recommend holding either the AMEX Gold or AMEX Platinum card, but if you aren't a frequent traveler, I really mean frequent, I'd recommend going for the AMEX Gold over the AMEX Platinum, as there's a difference of $445 in the annual fee. Personally, I have the Chase Sapphire Preferred, which has an annual fee of $95, and the AMEX Gold card, which has an annual fee of $250. But if you use the monthly credits that come with the Gold card, your effective annual fee can be much lower than that $250. After holding the correct credit cards, the next thing you'll need to do is accumulate the points and then research. I'll go over the point accumulation in a separate video, so be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, so that you can receive a notification once that video is uploaded. Now, to your benefit, I've already went ahead and researched a trip to Tokyo, and keep in mind that the earlier you start planning your trip, the better off you'll be with finding excellent point options for using credit card points when it comes to purchasing airline tickets. We are going to look at purchasing an airline ticket in business class using points, and also booking a hotel room with points. The goal is to spend as close to $0 out of pocket as possible while getting excellent value with credit card points. Let's start off with looking at how much a business class ticket would cost us out of pocket when paying cash with ANA. And some of you may be wondering, why am I specifically focusing on a business class ticket? Well, I have two reasons. Reason number one is the flight is about 14 hours to Tokyo and about 12 hours on the way back. If you can redeem points for business class, this is probably the flight that you want to redeem them for. Reason number two is simply because I find business class seats to be aspirational, and redeeming points for a business class seat really shows the outsized value that can be achieved with points, and shows how attainable a business class seat can be to an average individual like myself. Now, for this video, I selected ANA because I can transfer my AMEX membership reward points directly into their flight awards program at a 1.21 mile ratio. And I've already looked at the reward calendars and found dates in April of next year that provide really good value. So let's take a look at that cash price. So we're going to select Houston as our departure city, and select Tokyo as our destination, and select April 6th as the departure date and April 12th as the return date. And then we'll select the class as a business and select search. Now, to compare apples with apples, I know the flight times of the reward redemption flights, so I'll select those exact flight times. So that'll be the flight leaving at 11:35 a.m. and the return flight is at 10:25 a.m. We can see that the total cash price for this business class ticket will be $14,370.95. That's a lot of money. And now that we know how much this flight will cost with cash, let's go back and do the same process with using miles instead, and see just how much value we can get if we were to convert our AMEX points to ANA miles. So I'll go right back to the reservations page, but this time I'll select flight awards and then select award reservation. Just a quick note, you do need to have a login with ANA in order to even search the available award flights. I entered the same information as I did before for the trip itinerary, and I'll go ahead and search a flight. Alright, so we can see the available flights that came up are the exact flights we used for the cash booking, and the miles that we need will be 75,000 miles, which is pretty darn easy to accumulate. The total cost for this ticket is 75,000 miles and $620.45 to cover the additional fees. One thing I want to mention is that this seat is currently available. If the seat is not available, you may see an option to join a wait list for this seat, so be on the lookout for that. Now, let's calculate the redemption redemption value we can achieve. We'll take the total cash price, subtract the out-of-pocket fees and taxes that we have to pay with cash when using miles, to get a total of $13,750.50. We'll take that total, convert that to pennies, and divide that total by the amount of miles or points required to book the flight. You'll see that we will end up with a grand total redemption value of 18.3 cents per mile. That is really good value for your points. And really quickly, let me give you the numbers for the same flight in economy class. The total cash price for an economy class ticket is $2,122.95. And the economy class point redemption requires 40,000 miles, and then you're still required to pay the exact same amount in fees of $620.45. So to get the cents per point redemption, we'll subtract the fees from the total ticket price, and we're left with a total out-of-pocket cost of $1,502.50, and repeat the same calculation to get a redemption value of approximately 3.76 cents per mile. This is not a bad redemption value since you're still getting more than the target of 2 cents per point. However, this is terrible in comparison to the business class redemption value. Now I got you to Tokyo in business class and saved you over $13,000 on your airline ticket. You're welcome. So let's transition to the hotel room. This is where your Chase Ultimate Reward points come into play. I personally like to redeem my Chase Ultimate Reward points for hotel stays using a World of Hyatt hotel. And for the sake of keeping this video short, I will show you a pretty decent redemption that I targeted simply because it costs the least amount of points per night to redeem. However, I do want to point out that this was not the cheapest option if you paid cash. Just like with the AMEX membership reward points, I can transfer my Chase Ultimate Reward points into the World of Hyatt at a 1-to-1 point transfer rate. I selected the Hyatt Regency Tokyo Bay for a 5-night stay starting April 7th. And you can see that my cash total, including fees, for a standard king room is $4,174.25, which is a surprising amount of money for a 5-night stay in a standard king room. Anyway, we can book this same room for 15,000 points per night, which unfortunately isn't the off-peak price of 12,000 points per night, but it's also not the higher price of 18,000 points per night. Unfortunately, Hyatt won't allow me to move forward to the booking page to show you the total since I don't have enough points in my account, but this stay would cost a total of 75,000 points. Now we'll go ahead and do the same calculation as we did earlier to figure out what our point redemption value is. After converting the cash total to pennies, we can see that the point redemption value here is 5.57 cents per point, which is a pretty good value since you're getting more than double and almost triple the targeted point value of 2 cents per point. So in total, this trip with a business class seat and the hotel stay would cost $17,924.75 in cash. But with credit card points, our out-of-pocket cash expense can be as little as $620.45. That's a total discount of approximately 97%. Now, of course, there is a cash redemption value for those points. Once we take that approximately $1,500 in value into account, we still would have received an 88% discount, which is totally awesome. Now, at the start of this video, I mentioned that there is a reason why I couldn't show you the cheapest out-of-pocket cash option for this trip. I found this flight on the United Airlines website to book with ANA in March of next year for a total out-of-pocket cost of $52.65. The flight did require much more miles though. With United, the total amount of miles needed was 168,000 miles, while ANA charged 85,000 miles round trip for the same flight. However, ANA still charged at $620 in fees and taxes. Unfortunately, it took me 1 week to get back to completing the script for this video, and by the time I went to take screenshots of the website, that particular flight was no longer available on United's website. Booking it with ANA required joining the waitlist. So I share this to let you know, if you see a redemption with an airline that you like, try to do your best to get it as quickly as possible because things change quickly with airlines. And also pay attention to whether your points transfer instantly or take a few days. Even with the lower amount of cash required with the United booking, I still think that in this scenario, the ANA booking would be the best where you can get the most value for your points. Now I know that you're thinking that this is a lot of points and miles and you'll probably never be able to accumulate the minimum of 150,000 points and miles required for this trip. Don't worry, the next video will be on how to easily accumulate the points necessary for this trip, and I will link that video here once it's uploaded for you all to watch.